for their results, and therefore I will make my remarks brief so that we can proceed to the most important part of this program. But CS, allow me to mention that this KCPE is the second last in the series of examinations at primary level as Kenya faces out the 844 system of education. So we only have one more KCPE next year. I take this opportunity to thank all the field officers who rendered their services to ensure the successful administration of the examination. I wish to particularly thank center managers who hosted other examination centers. This improved efficiency in administration of the examination. I thank all the agencies that partnered with NEC in monitoring administration of the examination. I also wish to appreciate the role played by members of the public and the media in ensuring responsible reporting and supporting the Council's initiative to deliver a fair and credible examination. NEC engaged the services of 5,692 examiners during marking of English composition and Kiswahili Insha answer scripts. I sincerely wish to thank and to appreciate all the examiners and center organizers who did this work in record time. Kindly let us applaud the examiners for Insha and composition. They did an exemplary job. I would not like to forget my team members in NEC for the various roles they played. CS this year has been an extremely challenging one for the NEC staff because they have had to deliver 4 exams in 1 year. It has never happened before. So please, let's appreciate the NEC staff for the dedication and the amount of time they put into this. NEC remains committed to delivering credible examinations and to uphold integrity in the certification process. I call upon all candidates, parents, stakeholders, and the general public to exercise patriotism by desisting from attempts to cheat in examinations. CS, before I conclude, I would like to make some comments about KCPE. As we are aware, the KCPE examinations were administered concurrently with KCPE summative exams for grade 6 learners. But following the recommendation of the Presidential Working Party on Education Reforms and the directive by His Excellency the President on domiciling of junior secondary school, and the fact that KCPE will not be used for placement of learners, but for monitoring learner progress, NEC will report on KCPE at 3 levels as follows. There will be a report on individual learners for the summative assessment. There will be a school-specific report, and there will be a national report on school-based and summative assessments. The national report will provide feedback to education stakeholders on areas that require intervention. The report will indicate the proportion of learners at each of the performance levels per subject, where perhaps we need to do some interventions. The report will be very useful to the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development, the Teacher Service Commission, and the Ministry of Education as we continue with the rollout of CBC. There will be a school-specific report whose scope will be limited to the individual schools. So each school will receive a specific report that delineates the areas that learners perhaps are having challenges so that they can continue in the journey of improvement. The learners will get individual learner reports, and all these are going to be uploaded on the school portals by 16th of January 2023. Finally, I wish to wish all the 2022 KCPE examination candidates success in their next level of education. May I take this opportunity also to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a prosperous year 2023. It is now my duty to request the NEC chairman, Professor Nyabundi, to make his remarks, and thereafter invite the CEO, Teacher Service Commission, to make her remarks, and then the PS will take over the program from that point. Professor Nyabundi, please.
The Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Education, Honorable Ezekiel Machogo, the Principal Secretary, State Department of Basic Education, Dr. Belio Kipsang, the Principal Secretary, Higher Education and Research, Dr. Beatrice Inyangala, the Principal Secretary, Technical, Vocational Education and Training, Dr. Esther Moria, who is not here with us, she's gone for other duties, the CEO, Teacher Service Commission, Dr. Nancy Macharia, the CEO, NEC, Dr. David Njagere, who has given a very able presentation of the situation here today, NEC Council members present, or directors and other senior officers from Ministry of Education, directors and other senior officers from other ministries and Teacher Service Commission, representatives from teachers' unions, including NAT, KUPPET, KEWOTA, the Kenya Private School Association, the Kenya National Parents and Teachers Association, the heads of Association for Primary and Secondary Education is present, members of the media fraternity, ladies and gentlemen. I take this opportunity to welcome you all to this important occasion when we release the 2022 KCPE examination results. The Cabinet Secretary, sir, allow me at this very early opportunity to introduce members of Kenya National Examinations Council who are here today. These include, of course, none other than the PS Education, Dr. Belio Kipsang, the CEO TSC, Dr. Nancy Macharia, the Director of KSCD, Professor Charles Ongondo, the Director, Minister of Education and Quality Assurance, Madam Evelyn Owoko, Mr. Festus Kinguri from Treasury, Mrs. Rosemary Saina, Mr. Martin Okio, Professor Eric Ogur, Dr. Fred O. Spotter, Colonel Leonard Owambo, and Arthur Kiragu. Last but not least, of course, is Dr. David Njagere. From the composition of this council, you can see the importance that the government places on examinations in this country. Mr. Cabinet Secretary, sir, the Kenya National Examinations Council has continuously upheld its commitment to ensure credibility of national exams. It is in this spirit that we wish to assure Kenyans that the 2022 KCPE examination processes were carried out in a professional manner and in accordance with our regulations and procedures. As we stand here, therefore, the Council can confidently assure the public that the results that the candidates are about to receive are credible and are a true reflection of the candidates' individual performances and achievements. Notably, sir, the 2022 cohort of candidates marks the end of the compressed school year that was necessitated by the COVID-19 pandemic of 2020. This was a difficult period, and while NEC has worked under constrained circumstances, it has been able to deliver the examinations, especially this series where the TVET teachers and school examinations were running concurrently. So I want to appreciate the candidates, parents, and all stakeholders in the education sector for the understanding and patience that they have accorded NEC in the last 2 years as we worked to recover the school calendar. Gladly, from 2023, we will see the resumption of the normal school calendar. I wish to thank the Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Ezekiel Machogu, for the support and leadership he has provided to our team, which has enabled the Council to deliver its mandate, that is, delivering credible examinations. Sir, NEC has made strides in innovations and infrastructural development in its systems and processes to ensure resources are effectively utilized, enabling the Council to deliver credible national examinations to all the candidates in Kenya. I further take this opportunity to thank you, sir, for presiding over this auspicious occasion. I now wish to take the opportunity to wish all a Merry Christmas and Happy 2023, and to invite Dr. Macharia, the TSC CEO, to present her remarks.
The chief guest, who is also our Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Ezekiel Machogu, the PSS present, Chair NEC and colleague members in the Council, the CEO NEC, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. What is it? Yeah. So, I am honored to speak today during this special event to celebrate our 1.2 million candidates who have qualified to joining Form 1 next year, having met all the conditions required under the KCPE examinations. On behalf of the Teacher Service Commission, I congratulate the KCPE class of 2022 for doing their part and securing their future. I also want to take this chance to thank all our teachers, both in public and private schools, the majority of who participated in the invigilation, supervision, and marking of the examinations. Cabinet Secretary, sir, in the 2022 KCPE exercise, we had 28,408 center managers, 28,727 supervisors, 74,990 invigilators, and 5,647 examiners who did an exemplary job. I congratulate all the staff and encourage them to keep up with the good spirit in line with the Code of Regulation for Teachers. It is because of you teachers that the 2022 KCPE class has performed well. As a commission, we thank the government for finding resources to allow us to recruit an average of 30,000 teachers in an exercise we are expected to conclude next month. I wish to urge all unemployed teachers to apply for their jobs and inform the public that we have until Friday, December 23rd, for the applications to get to us. This is a huge enrollment of teachers that has not been realized since 1997. Most of you will remember that before 1997, we used to have demand, supply-driven recruitment where TSC would recruit all teachers. Then recruitment was frozen, and from 1997, we started on demand-driven. And since then, we have never had such a huge enrollment of teachers. And we want to thank His Excellency, the President, Dr. William Ruto, for directing that we execute the exercise. On our part, we promise that the exercise will be carried out transparently and in line with the constitutional requirements of equity and meritocracy. I also assure the country that we are continuously applying all strategies to ensure prudent and optimal utilization of the existing teacher resource, both in our primary and post-primary institutions. And following the directive of His Excellency the President, that junior secondary school be domiciled in primary school, the TSC has moved quickly to develop guidelines on staff to handle the learners who will be joining grade 7. So apart from the 30,000 that we shall be employing, we shall also be developing guidelines on those others that we shall be deploying to help in that grade. These guidelines will be released to stakeholders in January. In the meantime, 30,550 new teacher recruits, that is 9,000 on permanent and pensionable terms, and 21,550 teacher interns will be posted to handle the JSS before the opening of next term. In addition, the Commission will mount a robust capacity building exercise for teachers to handle the JSS learners. I wish to reassure the country that retooling of the teachers will continue to cover all secondary school teachers and all those who will be joining the teaching service during the CBC implementation. As you are aware, we have already trained 60,000 teachers in the current secondary schools, and early next month we shall embark on the retooling of teachers who will handle JSS. Allow me once again to thank all the teachers who did very well in invigilating and administering these examinations, and wish everyone here a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you. And I now wish to invite our PS Value.
Asante sana Nancy, the Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Ezekiel Machoku, my colleague PS, and I will request PS Beatrice Imanyala to stand so that we can acknowledge and appreciate her. Beatrice is our PS for higher education and research, our chair for Senate Committee on Education, Honorable Nyotu, chair of council, and all other council members, the CEO Teacher Service Commission, other CEOs present, the Director General, senior government officials, head teachers present, our colleagues from our unions who are also present here today, members of the media, once again we acknowledge your being here. I would want to take this opportunity to thank all of us, and most sincerely thank our parents, our children, for the work that they have done throughout the year. But most importantly, I want to welcome all sector players who are here, and thank you for the contribution that you have had in making sure that our children were able to successfully complete the examinations. I would also want to thank the multi-agency team that was driving this particular process, those who are visiting the containers, all those who were part of this particular process. I would want to say thank you very much. And on behalf of all of us parents, we will always be most honored and say thank you very much for the work that you have done for our children. I would also want to thank our teachers, mainly those who are examiners, and these are people who are extremely dedicated. They gave their all. On the Jamhuri Day, 12/12, while we were all celebrating the Jamhuri Day, these dedicated teachers were marking examinations. Some of us, we visited them with the Cabinet Secretary in the evening, and they showed a lot of dedication and love for our children. So let's appreciate them. Once again, I would want to assure all of us, as the Cabinet Secretary would say, my work is very simple, because the chair of council has already talked on behalf of all of us as council members. Being a council member, what he has said is what we acknowledge and we all appreciate as council members. The remarks which were given by the CEO Teachers Service Commission captures all that we do in the sector, and therefore she has already talked about the teachers on behalf of all of us in the sector. And most importantly, my boss, the Cabinet Secretary, will now come and say more on the sector. So once again, I would want to make our commitment that we shall continue with 100% transition of our candidates who have done KCPE. Already the CEO has captured the spirit of KCPE. I would not want to go back there, but we are prepared for them as they transit to junior secondary in our primary schools as guided by the President. Finally, I would, before I give out my congratulations for the young ones and invite the Cabinet Secretary, I would want to take this opportunity to welcome the Senator from Murang'a, who is also our chair for Education Committee in Senate, to greet all of us and also convey his message to our candidate. Karibu, Mheshimiwa.
The CS education, PS, basic education, PS, higher education, the chairman, NEC, the secretary, NEC, the representatives from trade unions, indeed, and all of us, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. So today I also join the rest of us in congratulating those that took KCPE last month, and we believe that, like the PS basic education has said, that all of them will be placed into secondary schools of their choice, which is a big milestone in the education sector in this country. And I do not want to say much because this is not my day, but congratulations to all candidates, their parents, and thank you, NEC, for the good job that you are doing. Merry Christmas to all of us and a Happy New Year 2023. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mheshimiwa. I would also want to take this opportunity to acknowledge and appreciate our colleagues who are with us here. I want to pray that I will be exhaustive enough. We have Julius Mukwe from the Ministry of Interior and National Administration. Thank you very much. We have our Assistant Inspector General of Police, Stephen Atiang. Thank you very much. We have Chair, the Kenya Primary School Aids Association, Bwana Nzioka, karibu sana. We have the Chair of the Kenya Private Schools Association, Bwana Ochomu. Ochomu, yes, thank you very much. We have the Chair, the Kenya National Union of Teachers, Bwana Munue. Munue is there, thank you very much, Bwana Munue. We have the Secretary General of Kenya National Union of Teachers, Bwana Collins Oyu. Oyu is here. I see my brother has just arrived, Bwana Akelo Misori, the Secretary General for KUBET, and maybe with any other of your members who may have accompanied you. And our good friends from the fourth estate, the media, thank you very much for having come here. All would not be there without you. You are able to beam to our parents and all other stakeholders this particular engagement. I would not want to say anything beyond that. I know our young ones are waiting for their results. So I would want to wish all of us a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And it's now my singular duty to invite the Cabinet Secretary for Education, Honorable Ezekiel Machoku, to come and do that which he must do for this country. Karibu Wasiri.
Thank you. Please be seated. Yeah, thank you very much. Principal Secretary is present. The Minister of Education, Dr. Perio Kusang, and Dr. Beatrice Nyangara, Chairman of the Education Committee of the Senate, Honorable Nyuchu, Chairperson, Kenya National Examination Council, Professor Churias Nyabundi, Chief Executive Officer, Teacher Service Commission, Dr. Nancy Macharia, Chief Executive Officer, Kenya National Examination Council, Dr. David Njangere, NEC Council members, senior officers from the Ministry of Education, represented here, representatives from the teachers' unions, KNUT, we have the chairman, thank you, Chairman Munue, Secretary General, Corins, thank you, the chair, Kipsa is also here, Charles Ochome, thank you, welcome, Kebusa Chairman, Johnson Nshoka, thank you, and officers from the Ministry of Interior, Julius Mukwe, the Assistant Inspector General, Etiang Upet, my friend, Secretary General, Carol, welcome, and the members of the Fourth Estate, welcome. I am today standing before you to make perhaps my most significant address to the nation since His Excellency the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, appointed me Cabinet Secretary for Education nearly 2 months ago. Over these 2 months, I have taken time to personally consult widely over the status of our education sector, which is arguably one that attracts interest from every household. For in every home, there is a child. More importantly, my appointment immediately drew me to the deep of the sector with the national examination season racking and the need to clear the matter that was the grade 6 cohorts transition to junior secondary school under the competence-based curriculum. By good fortune, the head of state, in keeping with his promise as outlined in the education chapter of Kenya Council Manifesto, stepped in with a brilliant decision to appoint the Presidential Working Party on Education Reforms. By dint of the team's preliminary report, the President has already directed that the junior secondary school be domiciled in the existing primary schools. What did this masterstroke decision of President mean? It means that parents will now not lose sleep over finding grade 7 presence in secondary schools, which could have become their worst headache ever had the President not saved the situation. Secondary, domiciling the junior secondary within the primary school level means that the expected crisis of a double intake in our already congested high schools was averted. Lastly, it means that the newly constructed classes in secondary schools that were initially meant for the junior secondary school level are now available to ease our strained infrastructure in secondary schools. We therefore expect to have a relatively peaceful path to the achievement of the 100% transition policy of government during the Form 1 admission next year. Amid the smooth administration of the national examinations for 2022, I have, together with my top administration, subjected the sector into a quick baseline analysis with a view to finding an anchor upon which the new government can roll in its interventions. Based on this analysis, we have realized that for us to raise the sector performance a notch higher, we must anchor our management on the following. 1. Robust stakeholder consultations. As a ministry and working with the key agencies, we will work together with all sector players while embracing regular consultations and public participation in line with our constitution. In this, we will take a cue from the example already set through the Presidential Working Party on Education Reforms, which has combed every part of our country to correct the views from all Kenyans. 2. Ensuring staff and technical officers work with the formidable teamwork. We will redouble our efforts to motivate our staff at the Ministry of Education for them to deliver service to Kenyans in one spirit. I promise to work with all stakeholders to ensure staff deployments, recognition and promotions are strictly based on merit and are carried out in strict conformity with Chapter 10 on values and the principles of the Constitution. I am arrived at the fact that regardless of how smart our policies will be, they will always be doomed to failure unless our implementing staff are motivated to work well, since they sit at the execution desk and close at the consumers of our services. 3. Focused reform of policies and regulations. We are looking at the Presidential Working Party to make recommendations about laws, policies and regulations in our sector. We have seen a number of attempts to amend some of the existing laws, policies and regulations, a few of which are currently pending before the National Assembly. Under my stewardship of the sector, we will carefully consult with all stakeholders with a view to driving the reform processes to a decisive and logical conclusion based on the recommendations of the Working Party. We will appeal on the respective committees of the National Assembly and the Senate to be patient with us as we will regularly knock on their doors as we seek these legal and policy reforms. Inevitably, many of the expected reforms will stem from the recommendations of the Presidential Working Party when it completes its work early next year. This being my inaugural function for the release of KCPE examination results, I feel ready that we have successfully administered 2 national examinations concurrently at the primary school level, and the results for the KCPE examinations are ready within a period of 20 days. I wish to thank His Excellency the President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, for his leadership and support during the conduct of the 2022 KCPE examinations. The President led the multi-agency team and the Cabinet Secretaries in monitoring of the administration of KCPE examination, where they visited examination centers and exhibited support for the candidates. My Cabinet colleagues praised the morning code to be at the examination containers in solidarity with the contracted personnel, approved that the current administration is determined to maintain a credible national examinations. I also thank our teachers for their instrumental role in the preparation of candidates and the participation in the administration of the 2022 KCPE examination. I applaud the center managers, supervisors, invigilators, examiners, sub-count directors of education, deputy county commissioners, and security officers who played exemplary roles in helping us deliver a credible examination. In his recent directive on the domiciling of grade 6, 7, and 8, His Excellency President William Ruto ordered the Ministry of Education to provide further guidelines on the transition. Following this directive, I formed a multi-agency committee to draft the guidelines that will guide the transition. Specifically, the committee is expected to draft the guidelines that will effectively ensure a seamless transition from primary school grade 6 to junior secondary school, facilitate effective leadership and management of junior secondary school, promote consistency in the implementation of the junior secondary school curriculum, including teaching and learning and assessment, ensure the provision of adequate, appropriate and safe physical infrastructure and a runner-friendly environment for all runners, including those with special needs and disabilities. Ensure the provision of adequate and well-prepared human resources to facilitate curriculum delivery for junior secondary school. Finally, outline the roles and the responsibilities of key stakeholders in the implementation of the various components of junior secondary school. I expect to hold a meeting with all stakeholders in January 3rd, 2023 to consider and release the guidelines so they can provide a roadmap to all players as they prepare for the junior secondary school. Already the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development has released the Grade 7 curriculum designs and instructional materials for use at the junior secondary school level. Arising from the Presidential Directive and cascaded the Kenya National Examination Council by myself, the Kenya Primary School Education Assessment will not be used for placement of the runners in a junior secondary school. The KCPE report will, however, be part of the process of monitoring of runner progress. I have directed the Kenya National Examination Council to upload the report of the assessment on the school portals in January 2023 to enable schools to develop strategies of further running and teaching. As is the government tradition, all the candidates whose results I'm releasing today will be admitted to Form 1 under the 100% transition policy. There should be no case of any parent or guardian keeping their children at home when admission to Form 1 are opened up, as this is against the constitutional requirement. Since the country experienced the COVID-19 pandemic, which occasioned a prolonged closure of schools, the government has been running a heavily constricted and reorganized school calendar in a spirited attempt to restore the normal term dates. This reorganization of school term dates has come at a heavy cost to parents in terms of pressure to clear school fees within short intervals, teachers having heavy workloads, while runners have had to cover more content within extremely short time. I wish to particularly single out the 2022 KCPE cohort, whose examination results we are releasing today. When COVID-19 hit our country in March 2020, the cohort was in Standard 6 and only resumed their classes upon the full reopening of schools in January 2021. Between January 2021 and November 2022, just 23 months, this cohort has managed to cover 3 school calendar years. This is astonishingly incredible. In fact, the cohort covered their grade 8 school calendar in just 6 months, having joined in June 2022. In between, the country went into a general election that also occasioned an unnecessarily long half-term break, besides the confusion and anxiety associated with such a national exercise. Please join me in celebrating our 2022 cohort of KCPE, ladies and gentlemen. I wish to thank all the stakeholders, especially parents and teachers, for withstanding the financial and the teaching pressures. Respectively, they came with their shorter school terms as forced upon us by the COVID-19 pandemic. Thanks to all your concerted efforts, we will from January 2023 revert to our normal school calendar. The ministry is determined to place the 2022 KCPE candidates in secondary schools as soon as possible to give parents adequate time to prepare them for the admission to Form 1. The actual Form 1 selection exercise for all categories of schools will be concluded on January 16, 2023. A total of 1,233,852 candidates sat their 2022 KCPE examination in 28,408 centers across the country. These candidates would be allowed to start their secondary school journey as they have all qualified to be admitted to Form 1. Congratulations to the class of 2022 for your spirited academic campaign that defied the triple challenge of a general election, COVID-19, and shortened school calendars. Of these candidates, 620,965, that is 50.32%, were boys, while 612,887, meaning 49.67%, were girls, a clear indication that our country has achieved gender parity at primary school level. In the 2021 KCPE, 1,214,031 candidates sat the examination. According to the data, 4 counties had a significant entry of more male than female candidates. These were Turkana, Garissa, Wajir, and Mandera. On the other hand, Marsabit, Isiolo, and Meru had a significant entry of more female than male candidates in the examination. The number of candidates who sat the examination in hospitals in 2022 was 147, compared with 166 in 2021. All these candidates will also progress to Form 1. The number of registered candidates who were 12 years and below declined from 33,627, meaning 2.74% in 2021, to 31,494, meaning 2.53% in 2022, indicating that parents and schools are on the right path of enrolling children in school at the right age. The counties which had the highest percentage entry for candidates who were 12 years and below for the year 2022 KCPE examination were Baringo, Wajir, Kericho, Bomet, and West Pokot. The highest number of candidates were in the appropriate age bracket of 13 to 15 years were 885,162, meaning 71.13%, a trend that has been replicated in the last 5 years. The counties which had the highest percentage of candidates who were 18 years and above were Garissa, Turkana, Kilifi, Kware, and Mandera. In the 2022 KCPE examination, overall performance improved compared to 2021, despite the typical situation that faced this cohort of candidates. The mark of the highest candidate rose 4 points from 428 in 2021 to 431 in 2022. Another positive indicator of better performance by the candidates was in the mean average performance. The data analysis showed that more than half of all the candidates who sat the examination, that is 619,583, or 50.22%, scored between 200 and 299 marks, as compared with 578,106, or 47.17%, who scored between the same marks in 2021. We are therefore very impressed with the KCPE examination class of 2022 for performing very well and raising the standards of the main performance. Additionally, whereas 1,170 candidates scored between 1 and 99 marks in the 2021 KCPE examination, that number has gone down to only 724 in the year 2022 examination, despite the rise in overall candidature in the 2 years. This was an indicator that most candidates scored better grades than the previous year. In particular, I am impressed that 9 candidates with special needs scored 400 marks and above, compared with only 2 in 2021. The first candidate with special needs scored 419 marks more than the top candidate in 2022, who scored in 2021. Overall, we have been impressed that 4 papers recorded an improvement in performance in the year 2022 when compared to 2021. These are English language, Kiswahili Lugha, Kiswahili Insa, and Kenyan Sign Language. However, 6 papers, English Composition, Kenya Sign Language Composition, Mathematics, Science, Social Studies, and Religious Education, recorded a drop in performance in 2022 compared with 2021. Female candidates performed better than their male counterparts in English language, Kiswahili, and Kenya Sign Language. Male candidates performed better than their female counterparts in mathematics, science, and social studies, and religious education. I wish to direct the quality assurance and the standards to find ways of addressing the gaps that might be causing the performance of either gender, as there seems to be a pattern where girls beat boys in specific subjects each year and vice versa. Nonetheless, I thank the teachers, parents, and candidates for achieving this astounding performance as the country emerges from the COVID-19 and the effects of the general election. The summary of grades is as follows. Mark range between 400 and 500. We had 9,443. And as I've said, the best score was 431, which makes 0.77 when we come to percentage. Mark between 300 and 399, we had 307,756, making it 24.94%. Between 200 and 299, we had a total of 619,593 candidates, making it 50.22%. Those who scored between 100 and 199 were 296,336, making it 24.2%. Those who scored between 1 and 99 were 724, making it 0.06%. The total number that sat the examination were 1,233,852, making it a percentage of 99.16%. The overall performance for special needs candidates is as follows. Those who scored between 400 and 500 were 7, meaning this was 0.29%. Those who scored between 300 and 399 were 296 candidates, making it 12.25%. Those who scored between 200 and 299 were 838, making it 34.67%. Those who got between 100 and 199 were 1,270, making it 52.54%. Those who scored between 1 and 99 were 6, making it 0.25%. The total number of candidates in this category that sat the exam were 2,417, making it a total percentage of 98.01%. The combined efforts of the multi-agency examination team of the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Interior, Teacher Service Commission, National Administration, ICT, and Digital Economy helped to ensure that the 2022 KCPE examination was free of malpractices. Overall, there were only 252 candidates in 9 examination centers who were found to have engaged in malpractices. These candidates have been scored 0 in the subjects where they engaged in such malpractices. Nonetheless, the affected candidates' overall mark will be computed, the rest the mark awarded in the affected subject. The candidates will receive their examination results and will transition to secondary school. This is in the spirit of the 100% transition policy. As is our tradition, the KCPE examination results will be corrected by respective schools from the sub-county examination centers, education centers. Candidates should therefore correct their results from their respective examination centers. Individual candidates' results can also be accessed by sending a candidate's index number followed by the initials KCPE through a short message service SMS to 20076. 20076. The candidate's index number plus the initials KCPE and then the number 20076. This service will be available immediately after this event. Head teachers will be required to download and print the online research scripts for candidates in their schools and authenticate the same before they are released to parents, guardians, and candidates. It is now my great pleasure to declare the 2022 KCPE examination results officially released. I wish all the candidates and indeed all the stakeholders in the education sector a Merry Christmas and a happy, prosperous New Year 2023. Thank you very much.
We now move to the official release of the KCPE results. Asante sana. So some may be asking how we can receive the gift. The 2022 KCPE examination results is the Christmas gift, and this is how you receive the gift. You send an SMS to 20076. The SMS should be full index number of the candidate followed by KCPE. Full index number, KCPE, then you send to 20076. The Christmas gift will be ready if you use that approach. I now wish to invite the Director EA to make a few announcements and move a vote of thanks before I request Joseph Kidinji to offer the closing prayer.
Thank you very much, our Master of Ceremony, our CSR, and all invited guests. Allow me to take this humble duty of moving a vote of thanks on behalf of Kenya National Examinations Council. Sir, we have all been looking forward to the release of the KCPE results 2022, and we want to take this chance to thank God for the good health that we have had and for the good opportunity that we have been given as Kenyans. I want to start off by thanking the Kenya National Examination staff for the tireless efforts that you have put in, the extra hours that you have burned the midnight oil. Allow me, sir, to also appreciate the presence of the directors from the Ministry of Education under the leadership of the Director General, and also the invited guests from the Ministry of Interior under GAO and Internal Security. Allow me, sir, also to appreciate the presence of the National Youth Service. They're also in our midst. On behalf of the Director General, we appreciate the support they have given to Kenya National Examinations Council. Given the fact that we are only 436 staff, sir, alone will not manage to deliver this mandate, and therefore the support we have received from NYS is enormous. Can we give them a round of applause? I want to appreciate the presence of the Kenya Private Schools Association, KEPSHA officials, and the union officials. We appreciate the support you've given in the field and gracing this occasion today. I would further want to appreciate the union officials present here today. We appreciate also your presence in this release of results. It would go bad if I don't mention the support we've received from our council members under the leadership of our chairman. We really, really appreciate the support we've received, and we want to say thank you very much for finding time in your busy schedule to come and join us in the release of results. Sir, I'm humbled to also appreciate the presence of the PS Higher Education, Dr. Beatrice Nyangala. On a light note, We come from the same place and we went to the same primary school. Thank you, Daktari, for gracing this occasion. Allow me to appreciate our PS of State Department of Basic Education. Sir, welcome back, and we want to say we enjoyed your presence even during the marking exercise and the administration exercises. You gave us the support in the field. I'd want to appreciate the presence of the CEO, Teacher Service Commission, Dr. Nancy Macharia, for the support you've given. NEC alone would not do it without the support of the teachers, as already mentioned by our speakers. Madam, we are very grateful, and indeed, we are always indebted to the Teacher Service Commission. Even when we give you a short notice, you've always released the teachers with gratitude. We want to say thank you so much. I would want to mention that, sir, we are today indeed very grateful for the presence of the chairman of the Committee on Education from Senate, Honorable Nyutu. Sir, thank you for coming, and thank you for gracing this occasion. Without forgetting to mention the media. I know they were here pretty early, and like you've always done, you've always given us leadership and given us guidance to enable you cover this function for all the Kenyans. We are indeed very grateful, and thank you also for gracing this occasion. I'd want to mention our CEO, Dr. David Jengere. Sir, thank you for the stewardship and leadership that you've given to all of us. And finally, sir, I want to appreciate you. We have interacted with you right from the launch of these examinations. We interacted with you at the container to oversee the administration. I would want to say partly you also became the direct examination administration. We have also interacted with you at the marking centers. Even late in the night, you are checking on us and just finding out how far we are with our PS. I want to say thank you so much for the leadership you've given, and thank you so much for the guidance that you continue to give. At this point, sir, I'd want to announce that we would have refreshments, and all of us will be given guidance by our ushers. They will be showing us the direction of wherever we'll be going to. With that, I want to say thank you so much, and Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. God bless you. God bless Kenya. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Director Imelda Baraza. A small change, I'm told the closing prayer will be offered by Pastor and Penguin Jacob Omulo.
Shall we stand for a word of prayer?
Well, live pictures coming from Mtihani House, where just a few moments ago, the Cabinet Secretary for Education, that is Ezekiel Machogu, has released the 2022 KCPE results, whereby over 9,000 candidates managed to score over 400,000, and also over 300,000 candidates managed to score 300 marks and above. Quite some impressive results according to the Ministry of Education, more so the Cabinet Secretary for Education, that is Ezekiel Machogu. Welcome to this special edition of Newsfeed. I'm Moige William, and here in studio I'm not alone. I'm joined by a guest, that is Wanga Victor, an education expert and also a teacher at that is Starehe State House Girls here in Nairobi. And we just get to digest what does it mean, even as the results are out finally. Just a few days to Christmas, and the Minister of Education saying this is a present to candidates who sat for the 2022 KCPE exam. That is 1.2 million candidates, and that 99.1% managed to sit for this examination. And the Ministry of Education, through that is the Cabinet Secretary for Education, Ezekiel Machogu, stating that all these candidates who manage to sit for this examination will transit to the next level of education, that being the secondary school, and will join Form 1. Also adding that before 16th of January coming year 2023, all qualified candidates to join Form 1 will get a placement on the various schools they will be joining. Remember, the normal school calendar, which had been affected earlier by COVID-19, will resume come next year, 2023, and we expect the normal calendar to be running as from next year. Quite some impressive figures that have been released by Ezekiel Machogu, whereby 50.32% boys sat for the examination, and the rest 49.67 were girls who sat for this particular examination, which was administered to them between the dates of 28th to 30th of November this year, and the results are already out, whereby a candidate, to get your results, you are being instructed to type in your full index number together with the initial KCPE, and through a short message service, that is SMS, send it to the number 20076, and you will get your results. Remember, our reporters across the country, all the 47 counties, are boots on ground, and will be joining and speaking to them on the situation on ground as we wait for parents, teachers, and also learners to do this particular activity of sending an SMS, that is their index number together with the initial KCPE to 20076. And in a few, I believe, we'll be getting to know who is this top candidate who scored 431 marks in the just recently released examinations by Ezekiel Machogu. Remember, the CS this time round, a little bit, he has not given or issued the top 10 names of the candidates. And but with our reporters on ground, we'll be getting to know who are these students, and we'll be engaging students across the country. But here in studio, together with my guest, that is Mr. Wanga, an education expert and also a teacher, we'll be having one or two discussions on the just released examinations. Thank you and welcome to our studios here on TV47.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the invite. It's quite impressive to be here today once again to discuss about the release of KCPE 2020. It's great that it has been released before Christmas, so as to enable parents plan.
Yes.
It's indeed a Christmas gift, and I want to congratulate the top candidates and even all the KCPE candidates. We are hoping that everything will be well, and they'll be celebrating for their results and the hard-earned success in the exam for the last 8 years in primary. And so we hope that everything will be well. Yes. And, yes.
Maybe let us pick our conversation starting from here. What do you make of the numbers released by Ezekiel Machogu, noting that this particular cohort of 2022, quite a number of challenges faced during their period of learning, a short learning period, the examinations, noting COVID-19, elections, the 2022 general election, we had drought in the country, and also some parts of the country affected by insecurity. What do you make of the results that have been released, or we are yet to receive some of the figures?
I would say that it is an impressive result, owing that this group that have been in 3 classes within 2 years, because they were affected by COVID-19. And you've also seen the drought and insecurity. Actually, these current candidates, that is the class 8, were in class 8 for 6 months, if I'm not wrong. So to have the over 1.2 million candidates doing that exam, and there's still an improvement, I think it's a very impressive work, coupled by the stakeholder support, the parents, and even the teachers. Yeah. It has been such a congested period where teachers have to go extra mile to prepare the candidates. So I think it's very impressive, and it's a result that has also been delivered within a very short time, in that 20 days. And you see, we were preparing, they were preparing the CAPSEA, the invigilation of the exams, and the KCPE candidates. So it's like 2.5 million candidates sat for exams. So I think there's a lot of efficiency in with the NEC body, and even the teaching fraternity for supporting such a a huge number.
Yeah.
And also you can also see that there's reduced number of malpractices. That's around 250.
252.
52 students who are now going to receive their results. So I think it's an impressive result, and I would really commend the stakeholders that ensured that it was a success.
Indeed.
Yes.
And congratulations to the class of 2022.
Yes.
Let me pick your mind on this, because it is quite important at such a time. You know, the anxiety, the patience as you await for the results. What would you tell a parent who's watching us right now, a parent, a teacher, and also even the learner, the candidate, as they await for the feedback from after sending the index number, the initial KCPE to 20076? What will you tell that parent, you know, the teacher, the learner, the anxiety building up already?
Indeed, it is a very anxious moment. I'm not only a teacher but also a parent. I'm expecting results from my son.
How are you feeling? How is the feeling right now?
It's an anxious moment where you are asking yourself, what is it going to be? And I feel for the candidates, because the expectations might be high. Some may achieve better, some may not. And you see, it's important that they be guided psychologically to prepare for any outcome of the results. And parents to really advise and be there for the candidates, so that they don't feel like it's whatever outcome of the results. They need to be guided well, and you see parents too, whatever comes out, you have to be guided, the teachers. So the stakeholders are really anxious to get these results for individual candidates and even the school results. So we are hoping that everything will be well, but they really need to be there for the candidates. We've had in the past where candidates feel like this was not my result. Some of them even go to an extent of even doing other things that are not good for their health. So I would really encourage for quite a guided approach, especially the parents who are with the candidates now, and to encourage them, whatever the outcome or whatever the result, they should take it positively. And indeed, there's going to be 100% transition to high school, so they should not worry so much. Yes.
Hold your thought there, and then I will engage you more on this particular matter. But for now, let's cross over to Mtihani House, whereby our reporter, education reporter Sharon Baranga is on standby. Sharon, if you can hear me from Mtihani House, what could you tell us from your end, Sharon?
Yeah, thank you, William. We are currently live at the Mtihani House, where Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu just released the 2022 KCPE results, and it has been a very different event, which was, if you are to compare it to the recent events where national exams were being released at these grounds, the atmosphere was totally different. The excitement was not really there. There were very few people, education stakeholders, who were invited to this event. And I can also mention that this is the first time historically that the CS has announced the KCPE results without releasing the top 10 KCPE learners who performed exemplary. We only know that the top student has 431 marks out of the possible 500, but the list that we are normally used to, that the CS normally releases during such an event, has not been released. And so we could see how journalists were sad, you know, because this is the moment that they were waiting for. Actually, some of them were saying that now releasing the top 10 students is normally the highlight of the event, but this has not been so, and we will just wait and see whether there is the top students will reach out to the media houses so that we can have that tradition of covering them like it has been in the previous years. From what we know currently is that out of the 1.2 million candidates who sat for these exams, there has been a great improvement. Currently we have over 9,443 candidates who scored between 400 and 500 marks. 300 to 399, we had 307,756 pupils who scored that. And then between 200 and 299 marks, we had 619,593. Now this is the bulk of the candidates. The bulk of the candidates who registered to sit for the KCPE 2022 fall between the 200 and 299 mark. And then 296,236 candidates scored between 100 and 199. 252 candidates were also found to have they engaged, according to the CS, they engaged in examination malpractice, and so they will score a 0 in all the subjects, but still they will be enrolled in secondary schools. This is courtesy of the 100% transition that seeks to see that all the Class 8 candidates transition to secondary school and they are in a position to complete their basic education. William?
Well, thank you, Sharon. Quite some information there. But for you this time round, it will be quite an uphill task to look for the top 10 candidates. I know you are also waiting for the top 10 candidates, but the CS did not mention that. But to pick your mind on this, what will you speak of the results just announced by the Cabinet Secretary for Education, that is Ezekiel Machogu, in terms of performance? Sharon.
In terms of performance, again, the female candidates excelled when it came to languages, and their male counterparts excelled when it came to mathematics and science. Apart from that, there was a slight improvement in this year's KCPE examination compared to the previous years, and so I believe most of the candidates or learners, wherever they are excited to receive their results currently, because again, there's no need for anyone to feel discouraged, because all of them are going to transition to secondary school and they're all going to complete their basic education. But I think one of the notable things that came out from the release of the KCPE 2022 examination is the fact that there has been a very huge improvement when it comes to the performance of the students with special needs. According to the CS, we had a number of them actually scoring 400 and above, compared to 2021, where only 2 special needs candidates scored 400 and above. William?
Thank you, Sharon. I'll now let you go. I know you'll be looking for the top 10 candidates, especially the one who scored 431 marks. Quite an uphill task, but we promise our viewers here on TV47 that we're going to keep tabs on this particular matter and bring you up-to-date information. But now, let's get back here in studio and continue with our discussion with our guest, that is Wanga Victor, an education expert and also a teacher by profession. We were talking about anxiety, waiting for results before we went to Sharon. Let me pick your mind on this also. So how best, now that this is a personal experience for you, I believe your son is watching right now, is the anxiety is building up. What will be your words as a parent to your son, or also a parent out there also to her daughter or his daughter?
Thank you so much, William. I think it's that time that we really need to encourage them and to strengthen them. The confidence that they were having as they were doing exam should be portrayed on how they handle the results. Whatever the feedback, whether it is below expectation or it is above expectation, of course, if it's above what somebody expected, they'll be very happy. If it is below, you expect the opposite. So it's important to advise them that that's not the end of life. Even if a student gets 200 marks going to high school, they can still work very hard and get even higher grades. We've seen it in the previous exams when KCSE are released, and you compare the KCP entry behavior, I mean the marks that they got as at KCP, it might have been low, but when they work harder in high school, they can still achieve that grade, A minus and even B pluses. So it's important that the students are well guided so that they don't look at things like it's the end of life. And they really need to be talked to. The parents should not be too cruel on the candidates, you know. Don't probably see it like there's no waste. There's no waste at all. The current cohort, there's no cohort wastage at all. Yeah. They are all going to transition to high school. So whatever high school the student goes to, whether it's a day school, district school, or even a Rambe school, they can still achieve it. Many have achieved it through that. Of course, the limited capacity of the national schools will also be in place, because already we are seeing the 9,443 that have got between 400 and 500 marks. They are going to compete for the few spaces in the national school. So probably one may not land into those national schools and find themselves in other schools, extra county. The same teachers who are in national schools are also in the extra county schools. So they have to really just accept and adjust to the new norm. To the parents, they really need to now prepare themselves, because in a month's time, they'll be taking their students to high school. There's a lot of support that they have to give to the students, not the school fee, not the uniform, and even any other thing that they require in those high schools. So
quite a tough time ahead for parents, especially the festivities, an economy which is also tough. But you have raised something quite important on matters results. We're in a country where the education system tradition, there is a tradition which we have been used to, marking some people as they have done very well, they have performed exemplary well, and others failed. But the CS education, that is Machogu, has noted that they will see a 100% transition as a government. Every child will have a place to the next level of education, that is the secondary school, even those who are caught in malpractices. What do you make of this?
I think the CS has given it an approach of the CBC approach, in that they're looking at a situation whereby they are preparing the society for the CBC, where we're not going to look at students in terms of what they have scored, but what is their ability. Competence-based curriculum does not rank students. But of course, by saying there's 431 as the best, that's already ranking. And by telling us that around 724 candidates got between 1 and 99 marks, it's already ranking. It's only that now they have not come out with the outline that which school, which student is this, which will obviously be known with the time. But I think the kind of approach is equally good to avoid perception that people look at it that you can only perform while in a boarding school or in a private school or a public school and whatever.
Hold your thought. I will engage you later, but for now let us cross over to Kasarani group of schools to get just a feel and also a taste of what is really happening on ground. Remember, currently teachers, learners, parents are in a rush to text and also to get the results, whereby you put in your index number together with the initial KCPE to 20076, and I'm told that in Kasarani, that is the current situation exactly. That is Kasarani group of schools where teachers, learners, and also parents are in a rush to get those results, as you can see currently on your screens, whereby teachers have gathered trying to get some of the results. Seems the mood is also building up. Maybe they have received some of the results already. Let's cross over there and listening to what is the latest. live pictures from Kasarani group of schools where, as you can see, parents and teachers gathering around a laptop, just trying to access the results which have been released a few minutes ago by the Cabinet Secretary for Education, Ezekiel Machogu. Remember, to get your results, maybe a teacher, learner, and also a parent, you type in your index number together with the initial KCPE and send it to this short message services SMS code, that is 20076. And here in studio I am with an education expert and also a teacher, Wanga Victor. We are just trying to dissect matters results, which the Cabinet Secretary has said they were quite impressive. Have you received your results?
Yes,
your boy's result.
Yes, I have received the result for my son, who was at Nairobi Primary. He's done well. Seen my son Chris has gotten 397
Congratulations
marks.
to him.
It's commendable. I congratulate him for the good work.
Congratulations, Chris.
And we hope he'll advance to move to the next level of academics.
Yes.
I just want to thank Nairobi Primary and the teachers for the great work they did to prepare the candidates.
And congratulations to all the candidates.
Thank you.
I mean, they are transiting 100% transition to the next level of education, that is Form 1.
Yes.
But from what you have seen from the results you have received, let me let us also engage on this matter, because it was quite a challenging year for learners.
Yes.
Did you, from where you sit as an education expert and also as a teacher, did you expect such an impressive results from learners? You know, COVID-19, droughts, elections, quite some issues.
It was a bit challenging moments for the candidates, because from the lookout and how I check this, and from my own view of analysis, we expected probably a downward results, but that has not happened. We've seen a situation whereby there's an improvement. So it means that the current court really did their best despite the COVID, drought, insecurity in some areas. And so it's a very commendable work.
Yeah.
Teachers really had to go extra mile to cover a huge area within a very short time. So I really think that it's just very commendable from what we have seen. Now that there's an improvement, and we've seen a lot of other things playing in. Elections was not something very easy for some particular areas. So the country came together, and with the new administration in place, I think there's that continuity that is there, and we hope there's going to be a smooth transition to high school, to secondary schools, where students can be able to get the best.
Yeah. And quite impressive to also note that in this particular examination, this will be the second last KCPE ahead of the full implementation of the CBC curriculum. And also, I think to get your mind on this, what do you make? Shall we see an improved results in the KCPE, in the national examinations, because quite some changes are happening in the education sector, all these to improve the education standards of the country. The second last KCPE, already the results are out. We had a proposal, a directive from the Ministry of Education through the permanent secretary, principal secretary basic education, Bele Kipsang, noting that there will be no more boarding schools. So will this impact on bettering examination results, national examinations, or what do you make of this?
You see, maybe I beg to have a different opinion regarding boarding schools, because you see, it is a choice for somebody to take his or her child to a boarding school. Maybe there are even some conditions that might not be favorable to a student or a candidate back at home. So boarding schools have also played a role in ensuring that students have got that environment where they're able to do their best in terms of results, in terms of performance. So I think it should be left quite open so that one can make a choice. So that if a parent decides to have a child in a boarding school, because it's never compulsory, then it should be allowed. And At the same time, if you look at some of the decisions that are being made by the ministry, which could also be very good, like domiciling, the president recently said that the CBC class 7 should be domiciled in primary, which was a very prudent decision because the capacity and the classrooms in high school compared to the free classes that were to remain in primary school, obviously it was the best decision to be made. So the next step would be, this policy is going to be, now that junior secondary said up to grade 9, will there be more classes built in primary, or now grade 9 will now transit to high school? A few other things that will be looked at. You know, as you implement a new curriculum, there are going to be teething challenges, but people will learn along the way to see which one to correct and which one not to.
Okay.
So we believe that at the end of the day, we are going to have a smooth education system, but it must have teething problems at the time when implementations are being done.
Indeed. Yes. And we are getting to discuss more on matters, changes in the education sector. But for now, let us cross over to Nakuru County. There is a Gilgil, whereby we are joined by our reporter, Chichi Josephine. Chichi Josephine is currently at Gilgil High, which in the last Gilgil Hill, Gilgil Hill, where last it produced the top student in the last KCPE by the name Bruce Mackenzie. I don't know if it is the same this time round, and we are joined by Chichi Josephine. Chichi, if you could hear me, is the 431 the candidate who scored 431 marks also this time round from Gilgil Hill?
Yeah, Moige, thank you very much. And we indeed coming live to you from Gilgil Hills Primary School here in Gilgil. Remember, this is a school that produced the best student last year. That was Bruce Mackenzie, who got a total marks of 428. And therefore, like you can see, it's somehow dormant because currently nobody knows who is this particular student who got 431. And therefore, everybody trying to sending the message just to see whether this particular student is from this particular school. Remember, this school has been known over years for producing the best, and as you can hear, they're just joys. People continuing to receive messages from in their phones of particular, or rather students who have been able to attain 400 and whatever marks. And therefore, Moige, to just tell you, this school has been known for years. It's been producing the best candidates, or rather the best students, and therefore with this dormancy, then I will be able to talk to the director of this particular school to be able to tell us how they feel, how different is it, because we understand that CS, that is Ezekiel Mchogi, was able to just release the marks and wasn't able to give the names, or rather even give the list of the top 10 like it has always been known. Therefore, allow me talk to the director. Director, tell me, how do you feel about this particular whole thing, having known that Moige, as you can see, they have just appeared during all the celebrations and jubilations. But therefore, remember, I'll be able to talk to the director. Kindly tell me how you feel about it.
I'm excited, though I didn't expect that. I expect the CS to announce the top candidate like last year, where Gidigiri's Academy was leading, having the top candidate. So we expected the same. We were so ready and we were so tense because we expect the best. So when he announced the top candidate to be awarded and that one, we were so eager to know whether it is from Gilgil Hills or from where. But so far, we have sent quite a number, and our boys and girls have done so well. I can see 428, which is not far from 431. And I can see 400 candidates, quite a big number. But we are still sending to know exactly what our boys and girls have done.
And what do you make of those, or rather of the CS announcing only the marks and not giving the exact name and of course the list of the top 10?
I think we expect him to do better than what he did, because we expected to tell us this 431, like it was last year, is from which school, also from where. We also expect to know at least top 10, how the private schools have performed, how the public schools have performed. I think we expected more analysis like last year. Yes.
So you expect to know where these students having 421 comes from?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Therefore, Moige, as you have heard, that is the director Gilgil School, or rather Gilgil Primary School here in Gilgil. And therefore, explaining further on what is happening here. Remember, like I've told you, it's a lot of confusion here because they do not know who exactly got the 431 marks. And therefore, Mwege, I will be here waiting to see whether in this particular school, or rather if this school will be able to produce, or will be the school producing a student with 431 marks. Over to you, Mwege. My name is Chichi Josephine.
Thank you, Chichi. Already you can hear the dance and jig. I mean, the enthusiasm that is already building up across the country. That is our very own Chichi Josephine from Nakuru County, Gilgil Hill Academy, which in the last KCPE produced the top candidate, that was Bruce Mackenzie. And well, we'll be engaging more of our reporters across the country to get the feel of the results, which are already streaming in various places for the over 1.2 million candidates who sat for the KCPE 2022. And this is Newsfeed Special Edition after the announcement or the release of the 2022 KCPE results. And in studio, I am with Victor Wanga, who is an education expert, also a parent, also a teacher. He has just received the results of his child, that is Chris, and we'll be going on with our conversation even as we engage with our reporters in different regions of the country. You have heard the director of that particular school. She was expecting the CS to name the top 10 candidates, which I think intentionally, or let us presume so, Machogu did not mention the top 10. What do you share the same sentiments with the director?
I think because private schools normally market themselves through results, so it was a disappointment on their side, but at the same time for equality and a just society, so as to remove this negative attitude towards public schools that they are not performing. And you see the major core of the society is on public schools, those who cannot afford. So I think by intentionally not ranking schools and even students by where they come from, it's a commendable thing, because for equality and to make the society just, we need not to elevate that it's only particular schools that can be able to perform while others cannot. So I'm believing that the CS had the best decision. Probably, I think it was a wise one, so as not to demoralize some students, because I know the anxiety in schools now, and even in particular areas, might be very extreme. So let's try to adjust to the new norm that is going to come up, because the last KCPE exams will be next year. The CBC will just be about competence achieved, or to what level is the competence. So we are being prepared to be able to accept what is going to be there in the future.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Victor. But for now, we are going to take a short commercial break. But remember, here on Newsfeed TV 47, it is All Matters KCPE Results 2022. Please don't stay away. We'll be right back with more.
TV 47, the home of untold stories.
2022 has been amazing, to say the least.
How well do you know what's happening around you? Morning Cafe with heated political debates. Baraza la Siasa.
Hiyo kitu azungumzie, angalie hali ya maisha ya watu.
Informative health discussions. Business, farming. Tasty Wednesday, Fitness Thursday, and Feel Good Friday with amazing DJs, celebs,
waimbaji, kuna comedians, alafu kuna wajinga,
and music bands every Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. How well do you know what's happening around you? Morning Cafe with heated political debates. Baraza la Siasa.
Hiyo kitu azungumzie, angalie hali ya maisha ya watu.
Informative health discussions. business, farming. Tasty Wednesday, Fitness Thursday, and Feel Good Friday with amazing DJs, celebs,
waimbaji, kuna comedians, alafu kuna wajinga.
and music bands every Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. How well do you know what's happening around you? Morning Cafe with heated political debates. Baraza la Siasa.
Deliver market-driven programs in science and humanities with a keen focus on linkages with relevant organizations. Join us today and train with the best to become the best. Mount Kenya University, unlocking infinite possibilities.
Well, do you know what's happening around you? Morning Cafe with heated political debates. Baraza la Siasa.
Hiyo kitu azungumzie, angalie hali ya maisha ya watu.
Informative health discussions. Business, farming. Tasty Wednesday, Fitness Thursday, and Feel Good Friday with amazing DJs, celebs,
waimbaji, kuna comedians, alafu kuna wajinga.
and music bands every Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. How well do you know what's happening around you? Morning Cafe with heated political debates. Baraza la Siasa.
Hiyo kitu azungumzie, angalie hali ya maisha ya watu.
Informative health discussions. Business, farming. Wednesday, Fitness Thursday, and Feel Good Friday with amazing DJs, celebs,
waimbaji, kuna comedians, alafu kuna wajinga.
and music
kutoka Ujerumani wanatueleza jinsi walivyonasuliwa baada ya panda shuka na mapito mengi, lakini baada ya kuwatembelea madaktari wa Makini Herbs Clinic walifanikiwa kumpata mtoto.
Tulipokutana mara kwanza, yeye alikuwa anataka mtoto na pia mimi nilikuwa nataka. Tukafight like 1 year, hatukufanikiwa. Akaniambia the best way tuende kwa daktari tukaangaliwe. Tukakaa kuangalia tuenda wapi, tukapata tukaambiwa tuende Makini.
I come from Germany, near Frankfurt. I'm very happy to stay here on this place, in Makini Clinic. My body is full with energy since I have the baby.
Katika Makini Herbal Clinic, magonjwa mengi yakiwemo sugu hutibiwa. Kwa maelezo zaidi wasiliana na Makini Herbal Clinic kwa nambari za simu zifuatazo.
Wetu hapa Kenya, Mwenyezi Mungu ametujali.
Usienda nayo huko ndani, unaacha hapo kwa lake ndio uingie.
Ni wacho kwa lake namna gani nataka kutumia huko ndani? Nimekuja na hii gani ndio inatumika? Hii paketi ama hii kuchota? Kwani serious hii? Bwana wacheni mchezo bwana. Nini?
Karibu customer. Hizi bidhaa unaziacha pale kwenye luggage ndipo ufanye shopping kwa supermarket yetu. Kuchota ni kufanya shopping pekee.
Ni kufanya shopping.
Kama Hetia Supermarket ndio best. Kwa mara nyingine tena, Hetia Supermarket inakuletea kuchota na Hetia Supermarket. Kushiriki shindano la chota tuwe karibu nawe Kitale, Bungoma, Eldoret, Kakamega, Kisumu, Busia, Naivasha, Limuru, Nairobi, Thika, Nyeri, Meru, Chuka na Maua. Nunua bidhaa ya shilingi 600 na zaidi na utapewa raffle ticket. Jaza vizuri na utumbukize kwa sanduku iliyo mlangoni. Utakuwa umeingia kwa draw ya kujishindia zawadi Daihatsu Mira, pikipiki 21 aina ya TVS, 1130 school fees, TVS, shopping vouchers na vingine vingi.
Bas, ni huku. Saidia mimi.
Chota kuchota imethaminiwa na Iwe Bacon, Savannah Juice Fruit Vile, My Choice Hand Wash, Zesta Choco Primo, Ketepa, Blue Band, Aramco, Oven Fresh Bread, Nivea, Silent Night Mattresses, Coca-Cola pamoja na Hisense. Shindano hili limeidhinishwa na BCLB permit number 002816. Sheria na masharti kutumika.
Chota kuchota na Hetia Supermarket, na hii motokaa gari smart kabisa inaweza kuwa yako. Unangoja nini? Ingia, fanya shopping yako Hetia Supermarket, uchoto kuchote na hii gari. Hii motokaa inaweza kuwa yako. Mtu anaweza pesa kwa boost.
Hetia Supermarket, a world of choice.
You are watching TV47, the home of untold stories.
Welcome back to News Feed on this particular day, the 21st of December, the year being 2022. A special edition, All Matters Education KCPE Results cohort of the year 2022 just released by the Cabinet Secretary for Education, that is Ezekiel Machogu, stating that quite an improvement in this particular examination that was administered between the dates of 28th to 30th, and the results are already out. Learners, parents and also teachers are sending the index number plus the initial KCPE to 20076 to get the results. Already we have engaged with a number of our reporters on ground and we have seen the feel. Already some excitement across the country, especially in Nakuru. Already some of the results streaming in, and currently we are going to go live to Kakamega County, whereby our reporter Violet Auma is on standby from Applegate Christian School in Kakamega. Violet, if you can hear me, what is the latest from your end from Kakamega County?
Yeah, thank you so much, Moige William. Thank you so much. Just as you've said, well, there is celebrations here at Applegate Christian School, and of course they have got some of the students who have scored 412, and of course other candidates who are still they're still checking their results. And I am with the director here and the parents just celebrating the results that they have gotten after CS Education Ezekiel Machogu just announced the results. Maybe let me just bring her in, the director of the school. Probably tell us your names. I've seen the celebrations. What do we have at Apple Christian School?
We are very excited to having participated in the KCPE results, and we got our results. So we want to thank God so much for that. And with us here we have our top pupil, Anna Sikulu, who worked very hard with the teachers, and with the help of God, she was able to get 412 marks. We really want to thank God for that. We are very excited.
As it is right now, maybe how many candidates have already gotten the results? So you have already downloaded how many results, and where are we as compared to the previous results, that is 2021?
We have downloaded so far 10 results. We had 22 candidates. So in the office, we are still downloading others. And Anna is just among the 400s. She wasn't one of the top pupils, but we are very excited that our results are much better than this year. We are yet to get our school mean. So we are very, very happy that so far we have already about 400 and above.
Maybe the top student. Now you're saying that she's not the best. She has 412. How many pupils are above 400 as at now? And the best among the 400 has how many marks?
At the moment, we have 7 with 400. And the top was at 431. And he has not arrived in school yet.
You have 431 in the school?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. What is the name of the pupils maybe who have gotten 431?
Pendo. Jimbo Pendo.
Has gotten 431.
Yes.
Oh, nice. Maybe let me bring in one of the candidates who have already scored. You said 412. Your names probably. And how do you take it? And how did you even prepare for the exams?
Yeah. My name is Anna Ndati. I'm very excited that I've gotten 412 marks. And for preparing for the exams, I worked hard. I trusted God. And I listened to what the teachers used to say.
What will you tell, what is your advice maybe to some of the people who were there, who also did exams just as you, but probably made it or did not make it?
Yeah, just take the results positively. Yeah, maybe something nice will come up someday.
So what is your aspiration? What do you want to do? What do you want to do, I mean, like after this, going to, of course, high school, but again, you aspire to be, to go for which profession in future?
Engineering.
Yes. So wish you well. Maybe let me just bring in the principal of the school probably. Please tell us, what is your names? And I've seen some excitement when I was just walking in. Where are we, maybe last year, the mean grade that we had, how many marks did we have? How many pupils last year compared to the results that they are just streaming in as at now?
Okay, I'm Sharon Mwenje, the school principal, Applegate School. I'm so excited and I thank the Lord so much for this day. He has been so good and we want to appreciate him so much for the good results that he has given unto us. Last year, we had 422 as a mean, but because we are still downloading other marks for other pupils, we are praying that we shall even pass 422 as a mean. Thank you so much.
Mr. Cypress, thank you so much. Yeah, so those are just the director of the school and the principal, and of course the best among the best students who have come from Applegate. But of course, they're still downloading the results. But with the results they have gotten, they say that they have a top student here with 431. But also the information that we've received is that we also have a top candidate from St. Peter's Primary Boys, of which will be going there later on to talk to the parents and probably the school management in Mumias Primary School. And of course, we will also do a spot check in most of the schools around in Kakamega County, being one of the counties that has been performing so well and exemplary results from different schools. Applegate Christian School being one of them. We have a number of them as well. We'll be just be going around and getting to check who has topped this time round, because of course other than the ratings nationally, we also have the ratings at the county level regionally, and of course we'll be telling our viewers at TV47 what is transpiring here at Applegate Christian School, Kakamega County, and many other schools in Kakamega County. I take it back to you, Mwige Williams.
Thank you, Violet Wright. That is our reporter in Kakamega County, Violet Auma. And also, apparently, it is in the same county whereby the top candidate, as you can see below your screen, we have put out the name, that is Otieno Lewis Omondi, who managed to score 431 marks. He managed to get that. So that is from St. Peter's Mumias Boys. He managed to get 431 marks. And right now also let us cross over back to Nakuru County, where our very own Chichi Josephine is on standby. I'm told that the director of the school is speaking. That is the school being, that is Gilgil Hill is currently speaking. Let's cross over to Nakuru.
Jitago Daktari Bedi.
Apologies for that. We'll be getting right back to Nakuru County, whereby we'll be joined by our reporter Chichi Josephine, who is on standby from that particular school. And as you can see below your screen is that we have the name of the top candidate. That is Otieno Lewis Omondi, who managed to score 431 out of the possible 500 marks in the Kenya Certificate of Primary Education, KCPE. And he was learning. He was a learner from St. Peter's Mumias Boys Primary, that is in Kakamega. And in a few, as promised by our reporter Violet Auma, we'll be engaging the student right in Kakamega County once she get hold of the top learner, who is Lewis Otieno Omondi from St. Peter's Mumias Boys Primary School, having managed to score 431 marks out of the possible 500 in the just released KCPE examination. And here in studio, we get back to our conversation, even as we will be engaging later on with our reporters in different parts of the country. We have Wanga, who is an education expert, also teacher by profession. And last, before we went to the counties and saw the joy, excitement, and celebrations happening in different parts of the country, we were engaging on matters, the CS keeping the top 10 candidates. And I also like to let us engage on this, because out of the 1.2 million learners who managed to sit for the KCPE examination, all of them will be joining the secondary school, despite some of the malpractices being recorded, 252 cases. What do you think of this as a teacher from where you sit?
The CS has just indicated that the results, whatever the results, whether somebody has had the result cancelled or not, is going to transit to high school, which according to government is a 100% transition. But from another perspective, what are we going to be looking forward to in the society, that you participate in a malpractice and you just move on to the next level? How is it going to be? A lot needs to be checked into that. It's a very heavy statement. I hope we are not going to be a society whereby we will just allow that it's normal. Whether you cheat or not, you'll move to the next level. Would it be possible for a KCSE candidate who cheats to be admitted to the university? Because we also want them to move to the next levels. So I beg to differ there, that if it's a malpractice, how did it come to be? Can it be rechecked so that we don't just move to the next level? How will the certificates appear, the KCPE certificates? Say, when now in a society somebody will be looking for a job, this student who went to high school now is passed, amepata hata A, and now you're being asked to raise your KCPE certificate, the KCSE certificate, then the KCPE certificate comes out that either it was cancelled or a malpractice, which is a F or E, whatever it is. I'm trying to figure out the kind of results that's going to be. If it is one subject and one subject will now not be appearing, how will we use that? You know, because obviously in the society people are ranked, even in terms of job placement. People are checked, what is the qualification of this? Will you rank the same person who has got a master's degree the same as somebody who has just done Form 4? We have to have some aspect of ranking, whether we like it or not. Whether we like it or not, it's going to be a costly thing to those parents. So me, I would encourage that even if it's some form of special exams being given to these candidates, would rather be better than saying you just go to high school, because we are interested in 100% transition. And because we just say we are interested in 100% transition, so it does not matter. I think some form of social fabric of the society might be missing in such a pronouncement, where it is just, are we going to normalize cheating? Okay. That whether you cheat or not, you'll go to high school.
Indeed.
It needs to be debated further.
Quite some insights there.
Yes,
and it seems like we are having two top students in this particular, they just released examination. Message getting into our newsroom right now is another student by the name of Fuaro Makoha Robinson has also managed to garner 431 marks out of the possible 500. So does it mean we have two top students? Our very own reporter Sharon Baranga is digging more on this. So currently we have Otieno Lewis Omondi scoring 431, and also another name that we have just received, Fuaro Makoha Robinson, also managing to score 431 marks. We'll be getting more details on this particular information, but for now let us now cross over to Kisii County, where our very own Alfayo Kombo is on standby from Maxwell's Academy. Alfayo, if you can hear me, what do you have in store for us from Kisii County?
Thank you very much, Moiga William. I'm getting you right away from Ogembo here at Maxwell's Academy, where jubilations are continuing, where at right now the results that they have is at least 10 students already have 400 marks, and it will be remembered that the previous year this is the school that topped in Kisii County. And with me here, as my camera person can show me, I have the top students. Maybe you tell us your name. How do you feel as you have gotten your results today, and what are you inspiring to be?
Okay, my name is Brano Sike, and to be honest, today I expected to pass, but not like this. You know, it's absolutely awesome, and yeah, in future I like to be a doctor. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Maybe I get a glimpse from one of the top girls who was from this school of St. Mark's. So if you can just come closer. How do you feel being that you're the top girl and your school is known of being top in Kisii County?
I'm happy and excited. I didn't expect this, but through the graces of the Almighty, I'm able to get this. My name is Michelle Bernard.
Okay, thank you. As Moiga William, if I get a chance, we'll be talking to the director and the founder of Maxwell's Academy, maybe to tell us, was he expecting this, being that the other year he was leading in Kisii County, or what were your expectations in these results? As today's results were different as being compared the last year by today, the CS Ezekiel Machogu never announced the top student. What was he feeling? Maybe was he from his school, or what were you expecting?
Thank you very much. My name's Thomas Nyagaka, and I'm the director of Maxwell Academy. For sure, what we have received today is more than what we expected, and my pupils have done us proud. They have done us proud by scoring what they have scored. And for sure, last year they scored well, and we expect them to do well, but not this well. Getting a 421 last year, the first one was got 419. There were two, and over 400. There were not as many as we have received today. And we thank God for everything. And I thank my teachers, I thank my pupils for the teamwork, the parents, everybody. My chairman was here, he just left. I thank everybody for the teamwork that has shown all these things, all these exams to get such a spectacular results. And I thank God.
Thank you. Maybe I get a glimpse from one of the parents who's here, who has come to celebrate with his daughter here. Maybe to tell us what was he expecting and how is he feeling at this moment.
Okay, my name's Losmer Ukali. I'm mother to Michelle, a top girl from this school. I'm so happy today because God has made this day to be like this. So I thank God.
Thank you very much, Moiga William. As you can get it from this school of St. Marcos, it's all jubilations. Parents and students are here all over trying to celebrate their results and all expecting all to be well. And maybe, what as a parent, what are you planning to your daughter as is going to the next level?
Okay, I'm planning my girl here. She's my first born. I want her to go to Alliance High School, and then her hope is to be.
Okay, do you think that as the CS released the exams today, maybe has spoiled your Christmas, or he has brought your Christmas at a right moment?
No, it is good because he has made me to prepare for her, to prepare her for the next level.
Okay, thank you very much, Moiga William. As you can get it from the parents, is that they are happy. The results are now out, and they'll be able to prepare themselves for the next step and not squander all the money during the Christmas holidays and the New Year, as the children will be needing that money, so to enable them to join their schools come January, as the Form 1s will be joining. It's only that I have from Ogembo here in Kisii County. Maybe I pass the mantle back to you, Moiga William, in studio.
That is our very own Alfayo Combo joining us live from Kisii County, speaking and engaging to learners, teachers and parents. And you can see the mood is all about jubilation as the results continue streaming in. Remember, 1.2 candidates sat for the KCPE 2022, and the results have already been released by the CS Education, that is Ezekiel Machogu. And we have seen quite a number of counties already receiving results, and already we have gotten as we speak now, we have 2 top candidates who have managed to score 431 marks out of the possible 500, and one is Otieno Lewis Omondi, who scored 431 marks from St. Peter's Mumias Boys Primary School, and also the other name is Fuaro Makoha Robinson, also managing to score 431 marks, and he's from he's from Christ the King Primary School, that is in Bungoma County, and Lewis Omondi was a learner at Kakamega County. And in a short while we will be engaging with our reporters, that is Violet Auma and Wanji Sostin, to get to also to get to engage to these top candidates in those particular counties. But here in studio we continue with our conversation even as we engage our reporters spread across the country. And Wanga, let us engage on this note, because you have had the director of that particular teacher from Kisii County. He's quite disappointed with the results that that have been recorded, but earlier on we saw an engagement from Kakamega, that is Violet Auma, and the learner said just take the results positively.
Yes, I think the director, that is a school in Kisii, isn't it?
Indeed.
Should take it positively. I know private schools look at performance as the marketing tool, but now it's happened like that. It needs to just positively handle the teachers, handle the candidates, and even the students for growth. In one given year, results can be one way, the other year it's another way. Mm-hmm. So we don't have to discourage our children because of performance, but always to encourage them. Okay. Even somebody who has got mark between 1 and 99 mm-hmm. might still be very successful in life to employ somebody who had over 400 marks.
Indeed, hold that thought there, and we can take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
You are watching TV47, the home of untold stories.
Tonadol Extra imetengenezwa kwa njia spesheli.
How well do you know what's happening around you? Morning Cafe with heated political debates. Baraza la Siasa.
Hiyo kitu azungumzie, angalie hali ya maisha ya watu.
Informative health discussions. Business, farming. Tasty Wednesday, Fitness Thursday, and Feel Good Friday with amazing DJs, celebs,
waimbaji, kuna comedians, alafu kuna wajinga,
and music bands every Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. How well do you know what's happening around you? Morning Cafe with heated political debates. Baraza la Siasa.
Hiyo kitu azungumzie, angalie hali ya maisha ya watu.
Informative health discussions. Business, farming. Tasty Wednesday, Fitness Thursday, and Feel Good Friday with amazing DJs, celebs,
waimbaji, kuna comedians, alafu kuna wajinga,
and music bands every Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. How well do you know what's happening around you? Morning Cafe with heated political debates. Baraza la Siasa.
Hiyo kitu azungumzie, angalie hali ya maisha ya watu.
Informative health discussions. Business, farming. Tasty Wednesday, Fitness Thursday, and Feel Good Friday with amazing DJs, celebs,
waimbaji, kuna comedians, alafu kuna wajinga,
and music bands every Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. do you know what's happening around you? Morning Cafe with heated political debates. Baraza la Siasa.
Hiyo kitu azungumzie, angalie hali ya maisha ya watu.
Fuaro Makoha Robinson also who managed to score the same marks of 431 marks from Robinson Christ the King, that is in Bungoma County. And in a few, as promised, we'll be engaging our reporters on ground. That is Violeta Auma and Wanji Sostin in those particular counties. But for now, before we engage our reporters in different parts of the country, let us continue with our conversation here in studio. Remember, we are having an education expert, a parent, and also a teacher. That is Mr. Wanga. And before we went for the short commercial break, we were engaging on matters, the disappointment and also the joy and the excitement that comes with results of KCPE. Maybe, where were we before we took the short commercial break?
We were debating about the owner of a school, a director of a school in Kisii, who was talking like he's a bit disappointed.
Yeah, he noted he was disappointed with the results.
Yeah, and what I can say is that when managing education and even students and even teachers, they need to always keep giving them hope, you know. One exam is not the end of things. You can't find a student who has got less than 300 now at KCP, but by KCSE you can find that same student working hard till he or she gets A- or even A+. So I would just encourage and also give a word of advice to my fellow parents, fellow teachers, that we need to give hope to the candidates and even to the students, not just as they join high school, but even the ones in primary school. As they do exams, there are normally different scenarios. As a child might have become sick along the way during examination period, or something else, or even some form of disturbance when exam was going on, or even panic. That can make a student who was expecting 420 marks to get even less. And at the same time, let us handle it positively by encouraging the student that it's not the end of life. There's still life after these exams. They're actually now going to a level where they are going to be working towards getting better grade for career progression at the universities, mid-level colleges, and all other areas. The society needs all of them. You might find a student who has gotten a mark that is less than 100, and he or she could be a good footballer, somebody good in talents, somebody good in music. So that is also part of success. So we have to just encourage them to continue moving further now to the next level. Now that there's going to be 100% transition, let us just keep giving hope. And from my look from the lookout at what I've seen here as the results, the 724 students might be from even a very insecure area. Or they might even be some adults who just went and did the exam, probably not having gone through the normal class system. But let us not take them like they are failures in the society. They are not. They still have got a role to play. We have people who can go for the artisan. There are people who can go for many other things. Now that they have opportunity to go to high school, let them go and also do other things that could be relevant to them. Skilled labor, we could have semi-skilled labor and even unskilled labor. All those people we need in the society, but they must also go through the education system. Yes.
And you've mentioned something quite important, talking of adults in this particular examination, and also the Cabinet Secretary Machogu mentioned that in some of the counties they were talking of Turkana, Garissa, Wajir, Mandera, Kwale. You know, some of these counties had candidates who were above 18 years, even also Kilifi and Turkana, and it is quite important. You know, these by the release of these examinations, it marks another transition to another level of education. What could be your word? You know, this is another transition to another level of education. What could be your word to learners out there and also parents?
Can you pardon, please? What is?
We are talking about this is a transition. We have had the results being released. From KCPE, we expect them to join Form 1, as mentioned by the CS, and all of them 100% transition. And in these particular cohort, some of them in some counties were 18 years and above in Class 8. So what does this mean in terms of transition? As you have mentioned, that this is an important step for any parent, for any learner, from one step to the other.
Indeed, an adult who has done KCPE exam expect to move to the next level. And from the look of things, that's somebody who is probably being geared towards either adult education or just needed a certificate to go for some artisan training. So education should be there for all. You remember during the President Kibaki's time, when there was an 80-something-year-old gentleman, I don't know whether I recall the name, who went back to study. He wanted just to get that knowledge to be able to read the Bible. So I would really think that even the people who have gotten between 1 and 99 marks, some of them have learned maybe to just literally, do I know how to read or write my name? Or can I be able to do any other service to the society whereby I can even count money? You know, without knowledge, education, or not even some little numerical ability, one would not be able to even count money. Tell me somebody who has not gone to school at all and somebody who has gone to school, who will even prudently utilize the resources, who will even know that when I'm going to farm, this is the given quantity of fertilizer that I can use as I plant, even for a farmer.
Indeed.
Our parents, some of them never reached the level where we've reached today, but they could as well do many other things. So adult education can also be encouraged to these people who have gotten between 1 and 99. If they are adults, they can go to adult institutions where they can be able to study, and they can as well compete well at KCSE level. Yes.
Thank you for your time. I think we'll get a hold of this conversation. Thank you for your time here, Mr. Wanga Victor. You're an education expert and also a teacher who was joining us on this special edition of Newsfeed as we unpack on the results which have just been released by CS Education, Ezekiel Machogu, and we'll be having more news on our subsequent bulletins. And also you can follow us on our social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, and also on YouTube. That is at TV47KE. More news that will be coming on your in our subsequent bulletin. But most importantly, before we go, is that Otieno Lewis Omondi and also Fuaro Makoha Robinson the top so far are the top candidates, having managed to score 431 marks out of the possible 500 marks in the just released KCPE results. And even as teachers and learners and also parents continue to gather information on how their learners have performed, you can send the index number together with the initial KCPE to SMS code 20076, and you'll manage to get the results of your respective learner. Remember, 1.2 million candidates managed to sit for the KCPE examination, and we'll be keeping tabs on these particular events as they unravel in different parts of the country, even as teachers, learners get to receive their results. Remember, we have reporters spread across the country, and we'll be engaging them more in our subsequent bulletin. But for now, bye, but enjoy the rest of your viewing. I'm Moige William. Have a lovely afternoon.